What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be my most powerful Pestilence build in the game thus far. I am hitting ticks of 1.445 million damage. So every time one of those debuff ticks goes against the enemy, it's dealing 1.44 million damage. So much so I had to say it twice. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. So here's the build. This is my most powerful Pestilence build to date. I'm using the Gunner Specialization. Reason being is I use this in PvE. I'm not using this in PvP at all. So with that being said, the Gunner Specialization actually helps you out quite a bit in PvE. You get the armor on kill, you get the foam grenade, you get the increased RPMs after you kill an enemy, and also you get that sweet armor kit that gives you that bonus armor. Not only that, but the minigun is actually pretty fun to use. Now, with that being said, looking at the weapons, this can't be the most powerful Pestilence build without the Pestilence. So let's look at it. Here is my Pestilence. It is the exotic LMG. And this one is sitting at 107.7 total damage. And that's with 14% LMG damage, 12% damage to targets at a cover, and 6% damage to armor. Now, yes, you can get this up by 1%. So if you can put this build together exactly the way I did and have a completely maxed out Pestilence, you might be able to hit just a little bit harder than I am currently. Now, with that being said, when I talk about, the 1.445 million damage per tick, I'm talking about this talent, Plague of the Outcast. So hits apply a debuff, dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. You can stack that up to 50 times. So that's 5,000% weapon damage. Now it clearly states there weapon damage, so crit, stuff like that, headshot damage does not really apply at all. It's all about your weapon damage. So whenever I get up to max stacks, which right now is 50, I can hit up to 1.445 million per tick. Now whenever an enemy dies by one of these debuffs, it'll then transfer that to a nearby enemy and starts the thing all over again. This thing will kill anything in its path. It's quite amazing. Now for my secondary, I am using the Vector 45 ACP. I don't really use it too often because I'm too busy using the Pestilence. However, if I am caught reloading and there is a rusher that gets really close to me, I can switch to this and mow them down. This one's at 88.9k total damage with the talent Optimist. Going to my sidearm, again, I'm using the Pestilence primarily, so the secondary and the sidearm don't really matter. However, just for, the sake of argument, I am using the TDI Custom. This is your named card pistol, and whenever I have this out, I get 1+ skill tier. So I'm using a Jammer Pulse with a Revive Hive because this is a PvE build. So whenever I go to jam the enemy, I can whip out this pistol, get that extra skill tier, and my pulse will be even more effective. Now looking at the build overall, we are running 5 reds and 1 blue for the core attributes. As far as the brand sets, I'm using Providence 2-piece. I'm using the backpack with perfect vigilance and the chest piece with perfect glass cannon. I am also using 2 pieces of Walker Harris & Co. That is my mask and my holster. For the gloves, I am using the Contractor gloves. And then for the knee pads, I am using the Sawyer knee pads. With this combination, you can hit upwards of 1.445 million damage per tick. I'm going to show you as soon as I'm done breaking this build down. Now starting off with the mask, Walker Harris & Co. So the Walker Harris & Co. brand set bonuses I get out of this build 5% weapon damage, and 5% damage to armor. Now this mask maxed out at weapon damage 15%, max headshot damage at 10%, 3.9 crit chance, and then for the mod slot I chose crit chance at 5.3%. Going to the backpack, this is the gift. It is the named Providence Defense backpack with perfect vigilance. Now for Providence Defense, are the brand set bonuses I get out of this build: 15% headshot damage and 10% crit chance. For the core attribute, again, max weapon damage 15%. For the normal attributes, I have status effects and weapon handling. Neither one of those really apply here for the build. It's all based off of your weapon damage. Now for the mod slot, I chose crit chance at 5.1%. Now again, it doesn't really matter for the crit chance, and I could even switch all of them over to protection from elites and I'll still be hitting 1.445 million damage per tick. I'm using the crit on there just to try to get some higher numbers, but it'll steadily be on that 1.445 million. Now the talent for the backpack, that perfect vigilance, the reason I'm using this is that increased total weapon damage, 25%, and if I take any sort of damage, it'll disable for 3 seconds. But you're using glass cannon, so I highly recommend using the vigilance with glass cannon because you take 60% amplified damage when using perfect glass cannon. So you don't want to get hit by the enemy at all. So with that logic, you want to use vigilance because you want to get as much damage downrange as possible before the enemy reacts and before the enemy actually tries to damage you. So using glass cannon with vigilance is a no-brainer. With that being said, let's segue into the chest piece. This is the Sacrifice. It is the named Providence Defense chest piece with perfect glass cannon. Now I'm using perfect glass cannon for that amplified damage of 30%. Remember, amplified is multiplicative, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Now this one again, maxed out core attribute, 15% weapon damage. Normal attributes, we have skill haste and crit damage, but again, it doesn't really matter. All you need is that weapon damage because the plague of the Outcast only goes off of your total weapon damage. Going to the gloves, these are your contractor gloves. The contractor gloves are the named Petrov gloves, and the Petrov defense brand set bonus I get out of this is 10% LMG damage. The core attribute, again, maxed out weapon damage at 15%. With it being the contractor gloves, I do get damage to armor, and yes, damage to armor does help your Plague of the Outcast ticks. And then also this comes with crit damage at 7.1%. Holster, this is your Walker Harrison Co. holster. 15% weapon damage, 4.8% crit chance, and max crit damage. And then finally, the one piece to this build not a lot of people use, the Sawyer's knee pads. Now this does come with a blue, so overall your damage might look low, but because of the talent I'm about to go through, this is how you get such high ticks. So it's called Stand Your Ground. It's the talent that comes with the Sawyer's knee pads. Now this increases your total weapon damage by 3% for each second you don't move. And the stacks, they max out at 10, so you can get upwards of 30% more weapon damage just by sitting there. This actually equates to more damage than your Fox's Prayer knee pads. So the Sawyer's knee pads, even with armor as the core attribute, it still hits harder than a fully god rolled, Fox's Prayer knee pads. So yeah, this one's kind of key. So what you want is you want the 2 Walker and Walker Harris because you want the weapon damage and the damage to armor. You want the contractor gloves because you want the damage to armor and the LMG damage. You want the 2 Providence defense for the perfect vigilance and the perfect glass cannon, because together you get a crap ton of damage. And then as long as you're staying still, you get the huge weapon damage buff from the Sawyer's knee pads. Now, I told you earlier about the skills I'm using. Revive Hive, just in case I slip up, I can revive myself. And then a Jammer Pulse. A lot of the enemies that rush you, if you jam them, it'll actually disorient them long enough for you to mow them down. Finishing up with the stat sheet. This is for the Pestilence. 107,657 weapon damage. That's with 44.3% crit chance, 68% crit damage, 90% headshot damage. I do have 19% armor damage on the build. And let's go down to the offensive tab. Now I have 90% all weapon damage bonus and 39% LMG damage bonus. So using my Pestilence, I have 129% damage bonus total. And then you can see with the gear talents, I'm using Perfect Vigilance with Perfect Glass Cannon and Stand Your Ground from the Sawyer's knee pads. Going down to the defense tab, with that one blue that I get from the Sawyer's knee pads, I do have 913k armor. With the Gunner's Specialization, I have 91k armor on kill, and then I have 309k health. Going down to the explosive resistance, 15.3%, and hazard 10%, mainly due to my watch level. And there you have it. This is my most powerful Pestilence build in the game, and let's go look at the numbers. I'll probably go to the summit and do a couple floors after we look at the numbers, just to show you how it actually does in combat. Like always, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you support the community, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So for this, I'm going to put it on Invulnerable Elite, and just for the sake of argument, let's put them up really close. Alright, so what did I say? I said 1.445 million, I believe. Alright, so you can see on the bottom part of the screen, we have 3 indicators. Up, and there it goes. So we have the ammo from the Gunner Specialization, we have the Vigilance, and we have the Sawyer knee pads. So the Sawyer knee pads are all the way locked in right now. So let's look at it, just shooting the chest. Wait for max stacks, and that's it. Let's look at what we got. There it is. 1.445 million per tick. And it's still going. That's just per tick. 1.445 million. And that's just sitting here with my Pestilence. Doesn't matter where you shoot because it's all based off of weapon damage. So it doesn't matter if you shoot them in the head, in the chest, it really doesn't matter at all. So just for sake of argument, let me shoot them in the head. Alright, there's max stacks to the head. And again, you can see right there, 1.445 million per tick. So chest, body, head, doesn't matter where you shoot them, you'll still get that 1.445 million per hit. So yeah, let's go test this in combat. Now, usually I would probably just matchmake a mission, but since it is Title Update 11, everyone and their mom wants some summit action. So let's go check that out. So this is going to be the last part of the video. So if you guys just wanted that build breakdown and wanted to see the numbers, there you go. Thank you for that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. And for all you wanting that gameplay, let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into. Now, I don't typically do legendary solo. I do that with a group, but I do heroic solo. So let's just mow down a few heroic levels. For legendaries, if I were to do legendary solo, I would stick with either a status effects build or a skill build. But for heroics, you could do this all day. Alright, here we go. the summit. Let's try it out. What do you guys think about this elevator music? Alright, here we go. Last part of the video. Hopefully I don't screw it up. And I've got rogue agents. What? Alright. Well, I'm going to look like a fool because I'm about to go against a whole bunch of rogue agents. But let's try it out. Great. Alright. See if I can get their attention. Yep. Alright, so they're on the other side. Let's get their attention. I'm over here. There you are.
Rogue incinerator turret detected. Rogue fixer drone detected.
There we go. Get out of your cover. Oh, no! No! The rogue agents. Alright, let me back up, because their skills are obviously just messing me up.
Vital signs critical.
Alright.
Rogue assault turret detected.
Grenade! How many kills are left?
System malfunctioning.
Alright.
System restored.
Come on, bro.
Serious trauma detected.
Jesus. Why would it give me rogue agents? So embarrassing.